Hi, and welcome to Anne's Craft Room, where life is too short, so get out those craft supplies. Try something new and make something beautiful just for you. Okay, here is layout number 5 for All About That Base, and this is the base page. I'm not really liking these ovals, so I'm going to do something different, of course. So this is our Aunt Jackie, and she goes back and forth between Florida and Michigan every year, and every spring and every fall. And so she always stops in Tennessee to visit us, if nothing else, just for dinner. And this was in the spring, April of this year, I believe, and she stopped in Chapel Hill so we could all have dinner at the Mexican place there, because that was the only place that was open on Sundays. So this is us having dinner that day. And so I covered up those ovals. I want to cover up this one, but I think what I'm going to do that, and then to bring that blue in, I didn't have a piece that was long enough because these are actually the 3x4 cut aparts. So I'm going to I cut it in half, and I'm going to slide it under on each side and try and get it even. So there's those. And then I made a couple of Mexican hats. And then I got these 2 little happy memories there. And then I might try and do a little bit of write-in journaling right here. So that's going to be the layout. So let's get everything laid down. I'll start with this one. And with these pictures, there really wasn't that much that I could cut off, so I just went with it. I'm just trying to cover up that oval. There we go. There's that one. And then I'm going to try and give myself as much space as I can there, since that's where I'm going to do my journaling. So I'm going to go like that. There we go. Now to get this one in here. There we go. I'm just covering up a little bit of the hat, but none of the face, so I like that. So on this, I'm just going to put my tape down the center. I can always go in afterwards with some liquid glue and tape down the sides, but I want to be able to put those side pieces in. So I'm going to go like this, right there. And then with these, I want the crooked edges on the inside. And I'm going to place them and then do the glue. I'm going to turn this upside down so I can see it better. So it's going to be about like that, but I'm going to get my little ruler out, try and make them even. There. Now I'll get my liquid glue out and glue those down. And then I'll put a little bit of glue up here. Just make sure I have those corners down. There we go. So I am going to glue this one hat down before I lose it for the third time tonight. Once it was stuck to the bottom of the Cricut mat, and then just now flipping that around, I lost it again. So before I lose it a third time, I am going to glue it down. That's going to go right here. And then I think I'm going to ink up the edges of these. I can never get that fluffy pad off without getting ink on my fingers. If anybody has any suggestions on how to do that, let me know. And then this one. Made these little Mexican hats with my Cricut. And that one's going to go right there. And that's pretty darn good. Let me get some bling to put on here. So instead of bling, I decided to do some hearts, and I actually used a set of nesting punches that I like, and it's actually a set of 3, but I only used the 2 smallest ones, a 5/8 inch heart and a 1 inch heart, and then the other one is a 1.5 inch heart. I really like those. So I'm going to put these down because family is all about love, so you got to have your hearts in there. So I'm going to do one right here and one right here. I didn't ink those up, but you know what? That's okay. And one on the end of here and one on the end of here. And then what I'm going to do is do one here and one down here, and that way I can just journal around them. So let me get started on my journaling. Thank you for watching till the end. If you liked my video,